What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new news video. Today what I got for you guys, we're going to be going over all the season 4 reloaded patch notes. So we do have quite a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and let's get started. So first off, they ended up showing us a photo of the Diabolical Camos, and this is what they look like. The white one, get the white one when you complete a challenge, and then once you complete all 10 of them, you will receive the red version of it. But these are the photos that they have given us. The first section that we have is going to be the global, and this is the general. So it says semi-auto and burst weapon shot queuing improvements, which basically prevent that jamming effect. So when you're like spamming a pistol and sometimes it doesn't shoot when you're spamming the trigger, that's the jamming effect that it does. This change now results in a smoother firing experience for most pistols and semi-auto rifles. Next to it says base weapon stats have been updated to more accurately reflect their functionality, and then the attachment stat value has also been updated to do the same. Then we have the new attachment. It says the underbarrel, the Corvus Torch Dragon's Breath packed underbarrel shotgun, available to all weapons that are compatible with the underbarrel shotgun upon completion of the challenge to unlock it. Now here are all the weapon balancing changes that they have done. They did state that right now they are trying to raise the duration of gunfights, and as a result they're actually impacting the accuracy of these weapons. So if you are not very accurate with these weapons, the gunfights will be longer, but if you are very accurate, then they should be shorter. So they said every gunfight should feel completely different versus depending on the player you play against and all that. So this is what they did. For submachine guns, the ISO 45 got a nerf, reduced close range damage as well as reduced the headshot damage in Modern Warfare 2, increased the hip fire spread, and then for the Vaznov 9K, they reduced the close to mid damage distance. For the assault rifles, the Cast-Off 7.62 got reduced headshot damage in Modern Warfare 2 only, and then they increased the time to ADS. The Cast-Off 74U got reduced headshot damage in multiplayer only, and then the increased hip fire on everything. The TAC 56 got reduced headshot damage in MW2 only, and then going on to the shotgun, the KV broadside increased the mid-range damage in Modern Warfare 2 only. The Bryson 800 reduced damage to head, upper torso, legs, and arms, multiplayer only, and reduced mid-damage range slightly in Modern Warfare 2. The Bryson 890 reduced damage to arms, increased damage to lower torso, and increased the ADS movement speeds. For the Expedite 12, it increased damage to the head and upper torso, reduced ADS time, and reduced the hip fire spread. And then going on to the marksman rifles, quite a few changes. The Tempest Torn reduced close to mid-range damage, reduced the neck location damage, and increased time to ADS. EBR 14 reduced ADS movement speed, reduced the hip strafe speed, and then for the Lockwood MK2 reduced the time to ADS, the movement increase, and then the SAB 60 got a movement increase as well. So they also did some weapon bug fixes, or they fixed like random issues, which I'll post a photo of so you can see exactly what they were. They also ended up doing some audio updates, and these adjustments decreased how often the low ammo voice alert would play, and then the audio bug fixes that they did fixed issues where sender sounds would sometimes not function as intended, fixed an issue where the final hit marker sounds occasionally didn't play, and then fixed the issue where shock stick electrocute sounds did not play on infected entities as intended. And then going on to the social changes that we have. So for the adjustments, it says in-game looking for party browsing. They overhauled the entire system to help players find parties with similar communication and playstyle preferences. The following changes were made to improve player experience based on community feedback. So the dynamic preference, in addition to communication types, expanded preference list to include primary and secondary playstyle options. Then you have the advertise your party, so party leaders can broadcast your existing party to bring in other people. Then you have the browse party and join, so you don't have to wait anymore. Players can now explore a list of available parties to join. And then finally, they did quality of life improvements that just fix bugs and just overall user changes and things like that. But the community feedback in-game surveys, they say like they just value the surveys, and if they send them to you, you should do them because they actually take your feedback into consideration. But the next thing they changed is the UI adjustment. So an in-game notification now displays when a player acquires a battle pass token, and then they streamlined the weapon progress menu to make it simpler. But they also did a bunch of global bug fixes. I'm not going to go over every single one of them, don't want to make the video too long, but these are the global bug fixes they have done. Feel free to pause the video if you want to take a look at all of them. But the next ones that we have are going to be the PC settings. Keyboard and mouse gamepad players now have the ability to easily swap items within their backpack to preferred location. The loadout system now enables players to effortlessly switch their primary and secondary weapons. Jumping into the next thing that we have, this is going to be special ops. So not too much going on with special ops, but it says Adam Grad Raid episode 4 is now available, which tells you that in regular difficulty you get the forest skin, veteran difficulty you get the projectile weapon camo, and then you'll be able to get the tarnished weapon camo when you find the secret weapon in the Adam Grad Raid Episode 4. But going on to cooperative, you have CP kits at rank 10 will now receive a reminder splash at the beginning of each mission. CP kits at rank 5 through 9 and rank 10 will also have unique icon next to their role, and then they added new intel collection rewards for 100 and 150 intel pickups, and then they also did 2 bug fixes. Going into multiplayer, we have a brand new map, and that is Von the Waterfront, which you guys should already know about. There's a brand new playlist. This is the playlist Von the Waterfront 24/7, Killstreak confirmed, Deathmatch Domination, Shipment 24/7, and Shoehouse 24/7. And then going to the general adjustments, the vehicles in Santa Siena border crossing will no longer explode. It can still be damaged, however, but cannot kill other players, so you can't just throw the nades in the beginning of the game like we usually used to could. But improve hit registration on dummy models in the firing range, and then reactive operator skins will now show effects in the firing range. And then bug fixes, fix the issue where dummies would not return to a standing state when exiting and re-entering the firing range, fixed a small number of issues affecting accuracy and all that. So these are the bug fixes that they did for multiplayer. And then Modern Warfare 2 rank play, no changes other than just restricting the MX Guardian, which is the brand new weapon. Going to Warzone 2, we have the brand new event, which is the 10V field upgrade. You guys should already know about it. I covered it in multiple videos already. And then we have a brand new playlist update. So these are the playlist updates for the next 3 weeks, basically, for the entire season. So in the first week that we have, it's going to be rotating trios every 15 minutes. It's going to rotate between Ashika Island and Vondel. So if you want to play trios on Ashika, you could play that, or you could wait 15 minutes and then play Vondel. But that's just a reminder to let you know that they will be rotating them every 15 minutes, and then that's the entire playlist right there. The next thing that we have is Vondel's going to be getting Battle Royale, so that means there's a new gulag, and here are all the following photos of the gulag that they have provided us with. But it's basically, it reminds you of the old Warzone 1 vibes, but I'm not going to take too long on that. These are the photos. The modes that we have is just Battle Royale Vondel. That's literally it. And then for the general changes, there's new features. So map rotation and 15-minute in-game timer has been added to the playlist menu, which I already talked about and discussed. And then the firing range, it says players now have the option to apply 0, 1, 2, or 3 armor plates on target dummies via settings in the pause menu for the firing range. And then for the gameplay, new features says all maps, all modes, plate carriers, equipment. Armor plate carriers will now drop when an enemy player is eliminated. Added 3 types of armor plate carriers. They added medic, a common armor plate carrier that increases the speed at which players are now able to revive down squad members, increase the speed at which health begins to regenerate. Camos, an uncommon armor plate carrier that increases the effectiveness of UAVs by showing enemy players bearing on the minimap. And then there's stealth, a rare armor plate carrier that protects the player from UAVs and other targeting devices. So I believe these were in DMZ in the past, but now they are bringing them over to Battle Royale. And then now El Mazrah Battle Royale has cash drop public event. This new event will spawn 3 planes that will drop a combined total of 12 crates across the map. Each crate will spawn 10,000 in cash and between 2 to 4 randomized armor plate carriers. This event has a chance to occur during the 3rd and 5th circles. And then for Vondel all modes, personal redeploy drone is now out, is an instant use piece of equipment that when used will propel you and carry the player into the air before releasing them, and it is one-time use. And then you have the signals intelligence contract in Vondel Battle Royale and Resurgence. Players will be required to track down and hack 3 different phones to earn rewards over a short duration of time. Each living squad member will receive a total of 10 payments of $500 for a potential total of 5,000 over 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Occupation scan public event is back. If you remember from Warzone 1, all you have to do is go prone or dive underwater when the scan is about to begin, or else your location will be revealed on the map as sort of like a UAV. And then all maps in Resurgence is the communal stations public event. Once Resurgence is disabled, a series of deployment buy stations drop onto the field at random for any player to use. And then they did some adjustments. So armor, ammunition boxes, quality of life, lethal and tactical equipment refill behavior will now match ammunition. Armor ammunition boxes will now drop additional items that do not fit into the active loadout slots to the ground, leaving players to choose whether or not to stow them in the backpack. Redeployment elevation. The elevation at which players redeploy to the field is going to be reduced by 9% of the initial elevation each circle. They are tired of people just hovering in the air and trying to get better placements. They're trying to nerf that, so basically what they're going to do is every single circle you will spawn lower and lower each time you spawn in. This reduction stops at circle 8 and remains constant for the remainder of the match. The total difference in height from the start of the match until the last adjustments is approximately 60%, so you'll lose 60% airtime. And then it says gas mask quality of life animation that automatically starts while players are airborne will be interrupted if a player decides to pull their parachute. And then bird's eye perk, when using a UAV in combination with bird's eye, players under the effect of ghosts are now revealed to that player. And then there's medicine cabinets. Reduce the number of stims that spawn from medicine cabinets down to 1 from 2. And then for Vandal cash increase, the minimum amount of cash that players will find is now going to be 500, increase from 100, and this applies to everything including cash registers and supply boxes. And to reiterate the weapon adjustments that specifically impact Warzone, at the launch of Season 4, Warzone saw a significant change to their damage profiles, which resulted in an overall increase to the duration of engagements. With Season 4 Reloaded, we're placing a bigger emphasis on accuracy in gunfights, which I talked about earlier. To achieve this, every weapon has had its Warzone damage profile adjusted to fit this new balance paradigm, with additional attention given to the most dominant weapons. While this change will result in a wider range of time to kill values, meaning some weapons are going to kill faster while you're accurate, and then the others are going to be slower when you're not, and it's just trying to give these weapons breathing room and space so that way you can use all sorts of different types of weapons. But it says Warzone ranked play, they have disabled the MX Guardian. And then for UI, players will now be able to view the total of unequipped armor plates that they're carrying on the squad widget. For the backpack, players will now see a backpack full notification at the bottom center of their UI for ease at the glance of the backpack state. And then buyback value, the amount of cash that an eliminated player will respawn with upon redeployment, will now be indicated on the right side of the squad widget. Champions Quest rewards now show in the after action report of a successful detonation of the nuke. And then the kill cam recap, eliminated players will now see a summary of the enemy players that contributed to their death. This will include the number of shots that made contact per player. And then Resurgence improvement, general improvement to Resurgence mode interface, especially while spectating. The squad widget has also been improved to better indicate that a squad member redeployment is imminent. New asked to be cautious ping. Players can now ping their living squad members when the majority of them have been eliminated to suggest caution play to avoid a wipe. And then there's bug fixes, so just a bunch of bug fixes, which I'll go ahead and share a photo of. And then also DMZ ended up getting some changes as well. Gameplay, there are reports of new enemy forces attempting to infiltrate Building 21. Proceed with caution. So it seems like they did an update to Building 21. This is all the information they're giving us about that. And then they said the 10V has arrived, which is that superpower stuff. But the adjustments, players can now see the progress they've made on their upgrade missions in the after action report. They've also increased the time to plead for help to 20 seconds from 15 after your squad has been eliminated. And then the plead to help timer that triggers after you are the last player on the squad eliminated will now pause while holding down the plead button. Plead for help and assimilation. When reviving someone who is pleading, the player who has pleading will no longer auto-join the reviver's team. There will be a 30-second grace period after a player's revived where the reviver's team will not be able to damage the player who was pleading. After reviving, the reviver will be given a prompt to invite the revived player to their team. The plead for help and loot prompts are now separate. So plead for help revive prompt is on the player's body. The loot prompt is on the backpack like normal. Looting the player first will not disable the plead option. Created a direct assimilation function to only send a request to one person. The team who killed the player that is pleading will no longer be able to accept their plea request and then revive. This prevents killing to force assimilation. Players hunting players. If a player and their squad kill too many players in DMZ, the high kill individual player will be issued a warning. If they kill another player, they can expect a bounty to go on their head. Enemy operators in the exclusion zone will then receive intel of your position and secure a reward upon completion. Killing a player with the bounty will award everyone in the squad 10,000. This bounty is not active in Building 21 or Cachet Complex. So that's actually pretty crazy. But the next thing is just the random bug fixes that they did. And that pretty much concludes the entirety of the patch notes. What are your thoughts and opinions? And let me know what type of other videos you guys want to see here on the channel for Season 4 Reloaded. Any guide videos or anything like that you guys want to see. But anyways, it's been your boy Chizo. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back on the channel again. Peace.